But yeah, do you have, I didn't see any questions on our Zoom chat. Did you see any on your Facebook?
I have not seen any questions come through, but there is a delay. So we can open it up for questions, or if anybody on the Zoom just wants to chat or offer their thoughts,
Yeah.
that's up to you.
If anybody
We
on the
don't,
Zoom wants to turn their mic on and ask a question, feel free.
we can also, if anybody doesn't want to be broadcasted, we could pull off the live and just have a casual chat if we want.
Yeah.
Up to you guys.
Hi, this is Nick speaking.
Hey, Nick.
Hey, Nick.
Hey, how's it going? Excellent presentation, guys. Really, really thoughtful. I appreciate all the information. I'm currently still renting, but I do anticipate, getting in the market in the next, I don't know, say 2 to 3 years. But I'm kind of curious on the loan approval side of things. I have a significant amount of student loans still, and I'm wondering how that affects the approval process for getting a loan.
Absolutely. Great,
Good
phenomenal question. Great question. So of course, the answer is it depends. It depends on the type of loan product that you qualify for. Do you happen to be a veteran, Nick?
I am not, no.
Okay. So I'll just give a generalized answer to that. Typically, you're going to use approximately 1% of whatever deferred balance that you have if you're not making payments. If you're currently making payments on an income-based repayment plan type option, again, it's going to typically be around 1% that we use. That number, though, may or may not matter, because what we're doing when we get you pre-approved for a loan is we're looking at your total income and your total debts, and we're figuring out the debt to income ratio. And I have some loans that allow that debt to income ratio to be quite high, so the student loan debt may not affect you at all. What I can do is, when you're ready and assuming you're comfortable, is we can kind of look at where you're at right now. So that way you can make sure in the next, you said 2 to 3 years that you're thinking about purchasing, that you can make sure you set yourself up for success in that 2 to 3 years. Make sure you don't finance anything additional or take out a car loan that might impact your mortgage approval, or your student loans might feel like this big thing, but they may not even be a big deal at all. And I can basically look at your file and help you determine what we would need to do and if it's going to impact you negatively or not. In some situations, doesn't impact people at all. Does that help?
Yeah, that was excellent. I appreciate the information.
It feels really scary, but the majority of first-time home buyers that I talk to, the majority of them have some student loan debt. So it's pretty common.
As do I right now.
What's that?
So do I right now. Yeah. Not in
Yeah.
the clear yet. Not in the clear.
Hey, Chris and Anna, this is Jeff. How you doing?
Hey, Jeff.
Big question for you guys. We're in a multi-year lease, couple-year lease with our apartment in Saratoga. How would you recommend kind of managing that with the market interest rates and everything like that? Should we wait until the end of our lease to look, renew? What's your experience on that?
When is your lease up, Jeff? What month and year?
Probably about a year from now in December.
Have you
Okay.
spoken with your is it through a management company or like a human being?
It's a management company.
Okay. Have you spoken with them about what your options are for breaking the lease so you can kind of weigh that cost in with your home search?
Yes, and that's what like I got from this is like the 22% increase in the market is usually between April and June, where we're seeing more homes. If the lease is ending in towards like the winter time, should we kind of prolong that a little bit more for like an extension of like a 6 month, or what would you suggest in that point?
So it really depends on your goals and your price point. There's going to be a lot of homes in the summer available in the $300,000-$400,000 range, but I think it really depends, man. Like there's advantages to every market. depending
Yeah,
on your
like
goals,
in
right?
December, there's less buyers, so you have less competition.
Exactly. So there's going to be advantages and disadvantages to every market you enter. It's just a matter of like, if you're ready, if you feel like you're ready, if you're comfortable looking for a house, I'd say go for it. If you don't feel comfortable, if you don't feel like, whether it's your budget finance, if you don't feel like you're ready, I think that's fine too. But that's where I would come in. I'd be like, all right, if you talk to a realtor, it'd be like, hey, I lay out, here's the advantages of buying right now, and here's the disadvantages. What do you think? So I'd leave it in sort of your core. But yeah, there's less buyers you'd be competing against if you wanted to buy in the winter.
So correct me if I'm wrong, it's a shopper's market more in the winter time. In the summertime, it's more kind of, it's a frenzy, correct?
At this moment in time, yes.
Definitely. Yep.
Hey, Jeff, do you have the capacity? Can you negotiate a month-to-month lease with the management company? Even if you have to pay a few $100s more a month, once you come up to like December of next year, if you can get on a month-to-month, you're going to give yourself so much flexibility, because as we always like to think that every transaction is going to go perfectly, like I'm going to find a home exactly in this month and it's going to close exactly when it's supposed to. But if you can negotiate a month to month, and even if you're paying several hundred more, it can give you so much flexibility and allow you to not have the stress of, oh my God, my lease is up in December, we have to close by December 31st. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. 100%. And that's the biggest concern is like, hey, how can we time this up? Should we look at our leasing options of more month to month when we're ready to buy, and when we should, depending on that. So thank you very much for the advice. I appreciate that.
The month-to-month thing
Welcome.
is beautiful if you are considering entering the market, if you can get that to happen. Another thing most people don't realize is, let's say you close on your house in December. Well, your first mortgage payment's not going to be till February 1st. So there is a buffer month in there. And a lot of times people might end up paying a couple of months lease and mortgage if it's necessary, but it's way better than that whole homeless feeling if you have no place to go, right? So
Yeah. Perfect. All right. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Jeff. Let's see. Did you get any
great
more?
questions, guys. What a
Yeah,
great
seriously.
crew.
Did you get any more questions on Facebook or no? I didn't.
I forgot we were on Facebook. It's a good thing I didn't drop any like bad words or anything. Just joking. But kind of. I don't have anything that anybody's commented on that on Facebook. So
Yeah, and I'm glad actually Jeff asked that, because I think there's a certain saying, we say timing the market. Buyers try to time the market, right? Well, you're never going to be able to time the market perfectly. There's always going to be advantages and advantages to every market you enter. So that's just what it is. Like if you buy in the
Chris,
winter,
yeah, Chris, sometimes people say to me, well, should I buy a house now? And it's like, well, do you need to buy a home? Like, do you need a place to live? Everybody needs shelter, right? So it depends. Are you over it? Are you over waiting or over renting? Are you done renting? And do you need a place to live? You buy a home when it's good for you. The idea with real estate is buy and hold. If you're only planning on keeping the house for a year or two, then I don't know, maybe you should wait and keep renting. But if you're going to hold on to it, they're not making land anymore. And I just showed you the stats on, 7 jobs for every 1 new home being built here. You buy when you're ready to buy, but there's no way to time it. No way to time it.
right?
I guess what I'm going back into there.
Yeah. Whenever you feel comfortable, if you feel like you're suffocating in your apartment and you really, really need to get out, then it might be best to find a house. But if you feel like you can stick it out and you can deal with it, and that's fine too, But all right, I think what do you think? Is it a good place to end it?
I think so. And you guys, I'm going to chat my contact info, and Chris, of course, has it. But I'm always happy to have an exploration conversation. That's my email. But again, without looking at everything in its totality, you don't even know where you're starting, right? So starting with that pre-approval process can give you that oomph. You might be a lot closer than you think.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. So just have a conversation if you want, even if you're not looking to buy next year or the year after. just get the conversations going, start your budgeting, look at your financing, look at what you spend monthly, just kind of gather all the information, and then that'll help you, maybe that'll help you make a better decision, you know, to look at your financing and see what you got going on.
Oh my gosh, Chris, when COVID hit and I had to like be on lockdown, I lived in downtown Saratoga when that happened, and I realized how much I was spending on going out to dinner and drinks. I was like, oh, well, now I can buy a house, right? Like the budgeting thing is incredible. And I'm always happy to help with that. So
Yeah, yeah. All right, well, thanks so much, guys, for tuning in. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me or Anna. I'm also recording this, so we'll have a live replay. If you want a replay of this sent to you, definitely let me know, and I'll email you a live recording of this replay. So really appreciate your time. We're always here if you have questions, and thank you guys so much.
thank you.
Bye.